Hey everyone. So I decided to pick up this Ridgid thickness planer, the Ridgid 4331. I had a problem. It was the infeed roller wasn't grabbing the material and pulling it in like it should. There was a grinding noise that went along with that, reminiscent of two gears that are misaligned. So I decided to roll the dice and take this thing home and take it apart and see if I could fix it. And what I found was that one of the brass bushings inside the gearbox had broken, and two gears were in fact misaligned. So I went online and immediately, I looked on YouTube like a lot of you guys right now, trying to find a way to get this thing fixed. And YouTube can be a great resource for fixing things, but I didn't really see a lot on this particular topic. The brass bushing for Ridgid, this particular planer, was not available, out of stock, discontinued, whatever. So I started looking around and I thought, well, maybe the Delta planers or the older Ridgids or the Ryobis, maybe they use one of the same parts. And so I found some other parts, some other bushings in their gearboxes, the Delta planer and the older Ridgid, the TP13000, that had different part numbers, yet they looked similar. So I decided to roll the dice again and order them. So they were literally 77 cents per bushing. It literally cost me more money to ship them to my house than it did for the bushings themselves. But still, for 15 bucks, I was able to get a whole new set of bushings. And when they got here, what I found out was that they were in fact the same size. Even though the parts illustration did not mention that, it said that they were exclusive to that particular planer, the TP13000, and also the Delta planer. It had a different part number for it. But now that I've got the bushings, I'm going to go ahead and swap them out. And this video really isn't how to take your planer apart. There was nothing complicated about that. All you needed was a couple Allen wrenches, a 4mm and a 5mm to get the cover off. You could also use a T30 Torx bit, would also work for that. And in fact, the Ridgid itself comes with a 4mm T-handle. So you probably don't even need the 4mm Allen wrench. But, and a set of snap ring pliers, just a cheap set. And this will allow you to get the gears apart, clean everything off, and then you can get going on that. So I'm going to go ahead and swap these out, and we'll see how that goes. Thanks. Okay, so I thought I would share my technique here with how to extract the bushings. This side is pretty straightforward. The holes go straight through, so you can punch them out from this direction with a punch or a socket or anything that's the right diameter. And they're not in there that hard. They pop out pretty easy. But this other side is a little bit different. The bushings don't go all the way through. So you can't do that same technique. So this was the broken one. The first thing I tried was to actually drill it out, but the point of the drill bit actually made contact with the aluminum. I went a little bit too deep, and you can maybe get an old drill bit and sacrifice it, grind the tip off, and then you can use that. Once you get enough of the material drilled out, they pop out even easier. So that worked with this one, but this other one I'm going to try something just a little bit different. I'm going to ahead and try to drill it out, and then I'm going to use this extracting tool that I have, and I'm going to go ahead and put that in there, and once it's in there snug enough, I'm going to wiggle it back and forth to see if I can pop the bushing out. And I just got a couple painter's mixing sticks. They were the perfect thickness to hold this upright. And I'll let you know how it goes. Thanks. So I got my piece drilled out, and I went ahead and installed one of these extracting screws. And I came over here to my vise. I'll show you that here. And I just put the piece in the vise. That way it would hold it. And then I wheeled it back and forth. Now I've already popped it out, so it's going to slide right off like magic. But what I did is just wiggled it back and forth, and it popped right out. So, and then here's the bushing. So I hope you like that. Whatever technique you decide on, you know, I'm sure it'll work out great for you. But you know, no need to go out and buy the tools that I have. Just you can use whatever method you can to pop them out. It's not that complicated. So just have a little patience. Don't destroy the aluminum housing, because then you probably will be buying a gear case. And good luck with your repair. All right, so I got it all back together. Put in a fresh set of blades while I was at it, and I'm gonna go ahead and try it out. See how it does. Wow, that looks good. I'd say that's a success.